Hey guys, it's Sarah here from Accessorize This Designs, and this tutorial is to show you how to make the mane of the horse. So for this horse, instead of doing the individual pieces of hair like I normally do, I decided to use a chained loop. So what we've got is we've got a base chain that goes down the back of the head, and then each chain from that base chain has 3 loop chains coming from it. So it sounds more complicated than it is, so I wanted to make sure I jumped on here and made a tutorial for you to help you out. What we're going to do to start is we're going to start by making a base chain. So I'm going to create my slip stitch, and then you want to chain 15 to start. Okay, so these 15 chains, these are the ones that are going to attach down the back of the head. So what you want to do is everybody chains a little bit differently. So what you can do is just measure on your animal. So the front, if you don't have the ears sewn on yet, that's okay. So the front of his mane is just 2 rounds past the center point, if that makes sense. So our center, like our magic ring or our closure for the head was right back here, and then I've started this 2 rounds forward. So if you measure, take the end of your chains and measure from just in front of that center part down the back of the head. And you want to make sure that when it's pulled tight there, that it stops just a little bit above the smallest part of the neck. So that's about round 22 of your horse. And then we'll work off of this. So those are your 15 chains for me. So no matter how many chains you have there, now you want to add another 10 chains. So if you only have 10 chains, you still add 10 chains onto there. So we've got 10 chains, and what you can do is you can mark this either with your thumb or put a stitch marker in it, and this is going to be where your first slip stitch is. It'll be the 11th chain from your hook. So again, it doesn't matter how many chains you've started with. I recommend 15, but everyone's a little bit different in how they space out their chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch into this chain. So what may work best for you is if you mark this chain as being sort of the end of your mane, and then you won't get confused as to which is part of what chain. If that doesn't make any sense right now, but it will, I promise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've started in. So this is working a slip stitch into the 11th chain. That's what we did for this loop. And then again, we chained off. We chained 10 more, and we're going to slip stitch into the same chain. And then we're going to chain again, another 10. And slip stitch into the same chain one more time. So that gives us 3 loop chains off of each one of these base chains. So it looks more complicated in the pattern than what it is. So next we're going to chain 10, and we're going to slip stitch to the next chain. And then we'll chain 10 and slip stitch to the same chain, and chain 10 and to the same chain. So you want to make sure you have 3 chains that go with each of your base chains. So let's do this here so that I don't confuse you. So 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops, that's only 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to now slip stitch into the next chain. And then we're going to chain 10 again, And we're going to slip stitch to the same chain. And then chain 10. And then slip stitch to the same chain again. And then the next one, you're going to chain 10 and slip stitch to the next chain. If you miss a loop chain in there somewhere, that's okay. The main is very full. You're not going to notice if you miss one or two of the loops as you're going along your chain. But basically you want 3 loop chains for each stitch all the way along, and then when you're sewing it, you're just going to place that startup chain, you're going to place that down onto the animal as I showed you for measuring. So you're going to start and have it like 2 stitches in front of the end off point here. So I think that's around 34, but towards the front of the face, and then stretch it out down to the back to about round 22 and sew it along there. Anyways, I hope this helps, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.